October 11th, Jackie Robinson Park, 148th Street Steps Natural Area Restoration in progress. I'm going to pan over this slope side to show you what's in bloom. As you know, this area was covered in Japanese knotweed exclusively, and now, about a year and a half later, these are the plants that we have planted in there in place of the Japanese knotweed. And the snakeweed was especially successful. We started with that. It is so powerful that I'm thinking of pulling some of it out as other native plants start to take a foothold. These leaning Juniperus virginiana, or red cedar, were just planted yesterday, and hoping they'll be okay. The goldenrods are various, mostly rugosa, I believe. We leave the pokeweed where we can, provide structure as well as food. There's some ironweed that finally inserted into this plant palette. There's some common milkweed, which we transplanted here in June and into spreading. There's some more Juniperus virginiana. The darker one, the smaller one, was planted last May, and the larger ones we just received. Up top there's some Rudbeckia laciniata gone to seed. The blue aster is probably New York aster. There's also some lavender flowered agastache. Lots more solidago. These two shrubs, the one closest with the glossy leaf is buttonbush, and behind it is Spirea alba. Buttonbush's scientific name is Cephalanthus occidentalis. It's a really cool native shrub that does need to be inundated occasionally, which is why I placed it at the foot of the slope so it could catch runoff right in the crevice between the retaining wall and the incline. Is probably a good place to find moisture. And then the rest of the slope is badly in need of care. Much of the problem here is the steepness of the slope. This area was originally just sheer rock face, and over the last 100 years, since the park opened in 1911, the soil base has accumulated, and it's probably 3, 4, 5 feet, depending on where you're at. Then must be 10 years ago or more, the Parks Department laid down some landscape fabric in hopes of keeping the weeds away and holding the soil in place. And now that too is a liability. So when we work on this slope, we actually cut through the landscape fabric, leaving some, peeling some back. It's kind of a mishmash, but in the end, we want the plants to hold the soil, and we are using lots of natural cribbing as well. So we reuse all the fallen limbs where possible, but it's really steep. In some places it's more than 45 degrees. So I'm going to pan back to show you the beauty of this slope. It's this is probably the most floriferous time of year for it. It's just covered in bees. I don't know if you can see. And when you work here, it's nice to, I have the impression that the bees don't mind me jostling through their habitat because they know that I've helped to make it. And they're also so busy concentrating on getting food that there's no stopping them. That's a honeybee I'm fixed on right now with a huge pollen sac on the back, a bright round yellow ball at the back of its body. It's wonderful to see all the different species of insects that come to this slope side. So this is a year and a half's work, and we'll keep planting and putting more herbaceous so that in times of drought or excessive heat, the plants can cool themselves and also share and retain water just by their very covering of the soil. What we don't want is bare soil. And wherever you see it, it's because I've moved, pushed back on certain plants to bring sun to the panicum grasses, and also to reveal some of the asters which were shrouded by, the usual pokeweed or what are harmless elephants in the room. So I hope you've enjoyed this summary, and I'll keep sending you updates on the progress of the 148th Street Natural Area project site. Tuning out.